You know, this wasn't actually the plan for this episode. I had a whole entire different build all laid out. And the first part of that video would have been about going out and exploring to collect all the stuff I needed. It was gonna be a place for me to keep all my animals. I was gonna put a butcher in there for trades. But halfway through gathering the materials, I realized, oh wait, I don't have any butchers. I'm gonna need more villagers. So right now I'm just prepping our build site. One thing you have to know about me is, I kinda hate hidden redstone farms. Like when you just put them on the ground and don't decorate, or when you just lop them into like a maintenance room or something. I really don't like when a farm isn't integrated into the design of the build. That's pretty much the reason why my chicken cooker looks like a coop, why all my redstone tutorials are all that way. I just think it's like a little fun design challenge to try and integrate redstone mechanics into the aesthetics or the theme of a build. So how are we gonna get more villagers? Well, we have this thing in the game called breeding. And from what I've seen, there seems to be two designs that are most common. If you want a relatively quick and dirty one, all you need are beds and food. But I tend to favor the self-sufficient one, where you give farmers some crops and farmland so that they themselves can feed each other. And to make the process of collecting the new villagers easier, we need a way to separate the babies from the adults. Most designs have the babies fall into a hole, but I want to be a bit more humane than that. So therein lies our first design challenge, a build where farmland is above a room. The easy solution is just to make something like a rooftop garden, but that seems a little anachronistic for my liking for medieval fantasy. And don't worry, that's just for this area in the early game. We're gonna branch out in the future. But anyway, another thing I don't want is for the babies to drop into a basement. Doesn't seem like the best place to grow up in. So with these design restraints, I figured the build has to at least have a second floor. And from that second floor is how we access the farmland. And so scouting around here for a suitable place, I saw this little hill up here. It's small enough that the build won't be too overly complicated. It's just the right size for a farmer villager, and it's just high enough to be the second floor if our first floor starts here. And so with all of these in mind, let's get all the stuff we actually need for the build. Now I've already collected some, but I need a ton of materials that we don't currently have access to. So before getting into the build, let's go and explore a bit. Wait, I just saw a cat, gotta get some fish. There he is. Yep, that's right. You guys are gonna wait here with me. And he's second now. Come on. Come on. Fish, come on. No, finally. Okay, no, that took way too long. Let's try getting some fish from the actual water. Okay, where that? Oh, wow. Okay, wow. You guys are gonna like just pop in here. Ow, ow. Stop. No. Okay, that's done. Let's try getting back to fish. Oh my god, they're so fast! No. Anyway, after getting enough fish, we lost the cat, so I couldn't find him. So I just went back to getting some materials. Like, we're at the nether right now. Nothing too exciting happens, so here's just like a quick montage of what we got. You cat, father, you cat. Come on, love me. Love me, please. I can't see you through the horse. Yeah, goodbye. With the materials from the nether, now it was time to upgrade our skeleton and zombie spawner farm. And you'll see here that I fail. I fail really badly at first. Come on, dog. Follow me, follow me. Oh, you just want to say, okay, okay, fine. Oh, no, I hit the cat. No, no, guys, don't worry. It's fine. It's fine. And now for our first bubble column. Whee! Hey, wow, that that took a while. So we went out and found this really small mangrove swamp. It's mostly on the river. I don't feel too bad about cutting all this down. I found a couple of new friends and probably the smallest swamp I've ever seen. I found another friend trying to swim. Unfortunately, while editing this, I realized I forgot her here, so I'm gonna have to go and get her back. Then I found a couple of underwater sand castles. Really cool, really fun. Yeah. We finally found the dark oak forest for the mushrooms, and we followed along a buried treasure map to find some really good loot, honestly. Now that we've got our haul, we came back home and ooh, I love how those towers look. Oh, goddamn. Got that. Got all that. Done with this. And we finally have this as well. Alright. We're gonna go into the montage of the build. Just sit back and relax. Hope you enjoy. And here it is, the Tower of Love. So despite what we did for the dog monuments, I actually kind of hate terraforming, at least in the early game. It's just too much work with insufficient tools. That's why you'll notice over here, there's not a lot of terraforming. And instead, I like to work with what the game gives us. I like that extra challenge of working with terrain that isn't necessarily the best, and try and make it look appealing. And then further along in the series, once we have more builds and more of a proper layout of how this village is gonna be, that's when I really go ham on the landscaping. But yeah, so back to the build. What do you guys think? Kinda like how cozy it feels to me. Makes me wanna bring my partner and have a short vacation over here. Honestly, I think that's the main reason why I designed it this way. But yeah, because of this hill over here, and me making a tower over it, we've solved the issue of having the farmland, or garden in this case, be elevated from where the babies go. And just to integrate the house better into the hill, we have a retaining wall and a small outdoor area for like drinking tea and stuff. Speaking of babies, this is where they go into. That's right, it's a baby room. Just pretend this is a crib. And yeah, we're just hiding a bunch of rails and redstone under here. Over here, there's a small cat tree, because cats only spawn in villages, so I'm guessing they're like the de facto villager pet. And of course, they have a birthday cake. And this over here, pretend it's a mobile. I tried to put things a villager would want to see, like the carved pumpkin is like the iron golem head. Maybe once we get a totem, we'll replace the tree. And then, on the second floor, is where the magic happens. Of course, you've got to have a big bed. Make it extra bouncy. A chest for all the things you want to hide away. Some candles to set the mood. And finally, up in the actual tower, if you just need a bit of a break, you've got a place to sit. When we go outside, we can see the wonky chimney so that it's more fun to look at. On this side, instead of the calcite, we have diorite to imply that it's a little dirty over here because of all the greenery. My cat really wants to play on the cat tree. All of these are waterlogged slabs to hide the water. And yeah, I think it just makes sense for a place for gardeners to have a lot of greenery all over the place. And so this is what I mean by tying your redstone builds into a theme and using the mechanics to dictate the design direction. So in this case, it's a villager breeder, so it just makes sense to theme the build around love and babies. Because of the way these farms are shaped and my own personal preferences, we went with a multi-level build utilizing a small hill. For it to be self-sustaining, we needed farmer villagers, but instead of just like a whole field for them to work on, we give them a small garden. When we use all these elements together, we can come up with interesting builds that are unique and have an innate implied narrative. In fact, I think I might just start calling this immersive redstone, where mechanics help inform the design. And I think it's cool and I think it's fun. And I think I'm very happy with this smaller scale build. Have a good day, everyone. Thanks for watching.